Even a Jedi cannot always control the feelings of the heart. We must do our best to guard against it, no matter what the cost. But some sacrifices are harder than others.
So one thing I have always said in this game is, as much as we love Revan, he's not going to be coming to the game until we get at least 5 light side Knights of the Old Republic original characters. Well, I got some news for you. We're getting 5 of them. We finally have Bastila come into the game. Along with her, we have Jolee Bindo. We got T3M4, a character that I predicted was coming to the game when HK47 was made the login character. We've also got Mission Val and Big Z Zalbar, her Wookiee companion. Now, I don't have the kits on hand at the moment, but I can tell you a few things about the characters and what I suspect their kits may be like. Now, Bastila is a Jedi, a very powerful one, who kind of controlled most of the battles that she was involved in with battle meditation, something that Yoda already has in the game. So whether the newly reworked Yoda will have some sort of combination with her, that remains to be seen. Now, I suspect that they will actually work very well together. Her kit is really hard to tell. I would have thought probably a double attack. She's got a dual saber, likely heavy on the healing side of things, I'd imagine, more so than an outright attacker. That was more her style. With T3M4, I would say a support character, probably most likely to stun a fair bit. That's what he did in the game, along with like unlocking a lot of doors and stuff. I don't see him being particularly offensive. Probably something very similar to what we've got in R2 right now. He'd boost the rest of the team. Maybe some sort of synergy with HK. There was some funny dialogue in the game between them. Jolee. Now, Jolee's going to be a really hard one to tell. He was quite a hermit, very much an outcast. I don't really remember doing much significant in the game at all. He was more of the comedy. So probably another support-based character with a fairly heavy hit. Now, Mission and Zalbar, they're probably have the more interesting mechanic because they're a proper team, much like Chewie and Han. I suspect they'll have some sort of synergy between them. Perhaps Zalbar will, dive in to take the damage off Mission, because I don't expect her to be particularly tanky, whereas he should be. At the same time, I suspect she'll be kind of a stealth-related character. That was kind of her deal in the game. You would often hide and sneak around things while being stealth with her. And stealth's quite a big aspect of Galaxy Heroes, so it should transition quite well. It's nice to see another Wookiee in the game because, I mean, all we've got is multiple variations of Chewbacca, and now we finally have Zalbar. One of my favorite Wookiees, in fact, so I'm really excited to see him come to the game. A big question is, what does this mean for Revan? I know everyone wants Revan in here, whether it's Revan or Darth Revan or whatever. Revan is probably the most in-demand character in the entire Star Wars universe when it comes to Galaxy Heroes, ahead of the likes of Darth Bane and so on. Now we're going to have 5 light side characters as well as his original assassin droid HK in the game, so 6 direct characters related to him. No Carth and Assi yet. I suspect Carth will probably follow along with the Ebon Hawk. At the minute, we're not seeing new ships come into the game, so much like Hux isn't here yet, because when he comes we'll likely have a ship for him. I suspect Carth will come in with the Ebon Hawk as well. There's no sign of Juhani yet. I'm sure she'll probably come in as a marquee at a later date. She wasn't a major character, much like Jolee. But we do have pretty much the entire core team now. Bastila was the big one. T3's a fairly large character as well. HK is very important to Revan. And now we've got them. We got them all. Mission and Zalbar are probably the next significant characters in the game as well. So with them in the title now as well, Revan can't be far off, which is going to get the rumor mill buzzing, I'm sure. But that's not the only good news. This next piece is probably just as big. I know I'm a huge Knights of the Republic fan. I've played the game a million times. And now we've got all this content coming with the 15th anniversary of Knights of the Republic, which is actually the 15th of July. So if you've not played that game, check that out. Fantastic game. But it's not the only big news coming. Mod management is finally going to be a thing, guys. I'm so psyched for this. It's going to work in very much the same way as the team management, where we build a squad. We can set a category like Rancor, then we can list several teams underneath it. We can now set a category which could be like Resistance, and then underneath it we can stick say Sith Raid Phase 1 teams, which tend to have health primaries. And then we can make a separate category with the resistance in Arena, where they're more likely to have protection primaries. Things like that. This is going to be huge. There's supposed to be both a basic and an advanced mode coming in. So the basic can pretty much recommend people the ideal mod sets. The advanced is very similar to now, where we're going to get to see the actual stat breakdown of everything. And to top it off, I'm also told that some of the mod sets that are lesser used, say the defense mod set for example, they're going to get reworked in a way that's going to make them far more significant in-game use. The one set that I know is not getting any work whatsoever is the speed set, because let's face it, it doesn't need it. The whole game is built around speed right now. The other sets are what I feel need work. I think the other secondaries need the boost to kind of balance out the drastic speed, because, you know, 50 offense to 20 speed is quite clear the speed's going to win out. But 500 offense to 20 speed, that would be a pretty significant gamble, because if you miss your hit and they hit you, you're going to take huge damage. So if they go that route and make it that significant, I think we could see a real shuffle from a heavy reliance on speed sets, in my opinion, outside of maybe Pout, because, you know, if you get the stuns off first, you're set, aren't you? So yeah, I think it could really switch things up and make it a lot easier for newer players to get into it, because I remember when I hit level 50, I was pretty overwhelmed with, wow, this mod mechanic is very deep, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I know many people are still in that boat. It takes a while to really get to grips with what works best, which stats really have the most effect in PvP. Now with the, you know, the recommended mod sets coming in with the basic, I think a lot of entry players will have a much easier time getting into mods. There's also a slicing mechanic coming in, so it's going to be easier to tell the difference between a mod that's now 15 but started as an E, you know, as a grey mod, and a mod that's actually starting as a gold, becoming a gold. Because at the minute, the greys become golds, and then it's very difficult to tell a gold apart from a grey gold, and, you know, it's a bit of a headache. That's now going to be a little bit clearer, and on top of that, we also will be farming the parts from the mod challenges to actually slice our mods into better mods. So there's a complete overhaul coming, and I know from Reddit, I know from the Facebook group, I know from the forums, from my streams, from feedback in videos, from the other game changers and their viewers and their fans, everybody wants mods to be overhauled. It's a major deal having to constantly shift mods around when new content comes in the game, like the Sith Raid. It changed everything in regards to mods, because everything was protection primary based. Now half of it is health primary based, so even more mod shuffling's going on. I think it's going to be a huge deal to the game. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe. It goes a long way to supporting what I do. There's some links below if you want to join my Discord, become a patron, or watch my live streams. And for now, I guess the countdown's begun. Where are you, Revan?
You cannot win, Revan.